Alright, well, here to do an update on the Chibson #1 and my Chibson #2 that I got. Loving it. And my handy dandy little Marshall DSL15. 15 water, you can switch it, got a switch in the back, pentode and triode switch, where you can go from 15 watts to 7.5 watts. Pretty cool little feature. Love my Black Star. I know all y'all's thinking, that's all you've had's a snakeskin blue Black Star for all this time. Well, I'll tell you, that thing, especially with that Eminence Commonwealth speaker in it, that thing weighed a ton. It was 58 pounds from the factory with that factory 70-80 speaker in it, the little bitty super light thing that a 2-year-old kid can sit there and throw like a frisbee. And then you throw that 23-24 pound Eminence Commonwealth in it, and that thing was a chunk, and it was a big amp. A lot of these stages and stuff are getting smaller and smaller, and it was like, you know, I'd like to find something a little bit smaller just to save space and get the weight down instead of lugging an amp around. It's like lugging a 412 cabinet all over the place. And just one day on YouTube, these little DSL15s popped up on a side thing. Well, I didn't know they was making a dual super lead in a 15 watt, and I got to listening to them, and I found one guy that was doing modifications to his. He made his sound good, and I was like, yeah, I like that. It's all tube, and I like the versatility of it. And I'm really finding out even more now what the real versatility of it is. It's a whole lot more versatile than what that Black Star. The clean channel on the Black Star had 2 different settings, 2 different modes you could run in, and you couldn't hit it with a pedal. If you did, it sounded like crap. And so I had to do everything on the dirty channel. Well, and I had to dial it back and then mess around with an overdrive pedal to throw the heat to it and everything so that I could roll the volume back and do the clean stuff. Well, this one here, even the clean channel takes the pedal just fine. And I did some mods to it, and where I toned the gain down on the lead channel. I know why Marshall did it. I found it out yesterday when I was jamming with a drummer and a bass player, and I had put the stock speaker back in it because when I got the new tubes, they come stock with TAD tubes. I hate TAD. I don't like those tubes. They're junk. I put the new groove tubes in it, the Slovakians, and 6V6, rebiased them. Well, the speaker magnet was hitting the tubes. I'm like, oh man, I can't have that. And so I put the stock speaker back in, and I jammed with them last week with the Eminence and the old tubes, and guys say, all these 15 waters, you can't even jam, you can't even practice with them, they're not enough power, they won't cut through the mix. That thing, I had it on 4, and they didn't, and I was playing with a drummer he's a loud drummer, he's solid, he's on them. The bass player, he liked it loud too. He was pumping and thumping. That little dude was carrying right along with him. Not a problem. Then yesterday, when I was jamming with him with that stock speaker in it, I had to get that up to about 6 so they could hear me. And the louder it got, the cleaner it got. And I was like, so half the time I had to run my OD pedal because I toned the drive channel down on it. And yeah, I'm going to get a different speaker for it. A friend of mine, I gave him a couple of Eminence Texas Heats, and he said, why don't you bring it over and try one in there and see what you think of it. He goes, I never use them. I got them in that 212 cabinet, but I got a 412 cabinet I run my amp through all the time. He goes, so if you want one of them, you can have it. So I went over, tried it. It was pretty good. Put it in, still pretty good. It was better than the stock, but I had it sitting on the floor on the concrete slab. Well, I got it home, put it up on the stand, night and day difference, and I really like it. Still, I had to really be careful how I put that speaker in there Now I've only got about 1/4 of an inch between the bottom of the tubes and the thing, so I'm really contemplating on doing a 10-inch conversion to it. It's what Marshall should have done. They should have put a 10-inch speaker in it instead of putting it in there where you got everything crammed together like that. That was not a wise idea. It's a 15-watt amp. You don't really need a 12-inch speaker with it. 10-inch is plenty big enough. So I'm really thinking about pulling the baffle out of it and getting a 10-inch speaker and making a 10-inch baffle and putting it in there, and then putting a 10-inch speaker in there and eliminating the problems. But that's the Eminence Texas Heat that's in there now. Here's the clean channel. I did one little mod to the clean channel. I clipped the bright cap in it to kind of warm it up a little bit, make it just a little bit warmer. I've got the deep switch engaged. It makes a hell of a difference. But I don't use that tone shift because that just makes it mid-scoop and sounds like crap. I don't play heavy metal, so I don't need to do that. Here's the neck pickup. Maxed out on that. But I can kick the pedal in. Does a really nice job. The only thing I don't really like about it is the built-in digital reverb. I mean, I can crank it, and it's just, imagine if I had a good mic that really picked up well and had it sticking right in there, it would probably be okay. Contemplating on getting a reverb pedal, you know. I mean, that's okay reverb, but it ain't really, it's not as good as the reverb that's on the Black Star. I will say that. That's got a killer reverb to it. But, and then the drive channel, that dude is just, I mean, it was so over the top, you know, in forms of gain. Once you got above 5, 5.5, it was unusable. I mean, 5 was pushing it. It was just really, you'd have to back your volume on the guitar down to clean it up so that you could even use it for a rhythm. And the lead on it wasn't that great. But I did some mods where I changed out, cut a couple of capacitors, changed out some resistors, and kind of toned that drive stage down on the V1 on the first valve, which is your primary valve in the amp. And it's down there good now. I mean, it's still, I'm running it on 6, or no, yeah, I'm running it about 6.5 to 7, and where that's at now was what it sounded like on about 3.5 to 4 before from stock. But most of the music I do, I'm not going to be using it. I'll be having it down here. presence is on just a hair under 4. Bass is about 6. Mids are at 6. And the treble's at 6. And I got the deep switch engaged. Here's what it's like. Here. Bass up in it, get it up to about 8 and really get it. Go Gary Moore on it and yeah, I'm a little too close to it for that, but I'm loving that. I mean, that can, and I can just crack the volume a little bit and up good for that, you know. Still do the Skinner. ZZ Top, it's killer. It is just awesome, and it can still, you know, I got this one. I'm going to get to the gold top here, the Chibson number 2. I got it primarily to play slide with. Got the action raised up on it. I mean, I could still play lead on it. I have. That last jam, I was playing lead on